Good morning, scholars. Today we're going to continue our way through Pharr's Homeric Greek, a book for beginners, looking at the formation of the optative mood and its use in independent clauses. So, mood. Mood designates, by the form of the verb, the mode or manner, modus in Latin, in which the speaker conceives of an assertion concerning the subject. There are four moods proper in Greek: the indicative, the subjunctive, the optative, and imperative. The infinitive, strictly a verbal noun, and the participle, strictly an adjectival form of the verb, may be classed as moods. So you see that we are on the last of our moods now. We've made quite a bit of progress, and in reaching the optative, we are at the last of the moods of Greek. Okay, so pat yourself on the back. Now, the optative mood is formed very, very simply with a very subtle but quite recognizable suffix. The suffix of the optative is iota. So here, reading 459, the optative adds the mood suffix, long iota, or iota alpha, iota eta, which contracts with the final vowel of the tense stem. So you have lu oime from lu o ime, pi loi ein from pi le o ein, and tite ein from tite ein. The iota eta occurs only before active endings. So those last couple are from pileo, an epsilon contract verb, and from titemi, which we haven't covered so far, and we'll get to those when we get to those specimens. But the main idea, as you'll see here, is that the optative announces itself by the presence of this iota between the verb stem, or the tense stem, I should say, and the ending. So if we look at the tenses of the optative mood occurs in 5 tenses: the present, the future, the various aorist tenses, first, second, and passive aorist, and then the perfect and the future perfect. But if we look at these forms, and I have the active on one side, the middle on the other, using the first person singular as my example, you see in lu oime of the present, you can see that iota quite clearly before the mu iota of the ending. And likewise, lu soime, you see the verb stem of the future, and you see the iota again. The second aorist, leap from lepo, you have lipoime, and so there again, you see the iota before the ending. In the first aorist, you have lusaime, so you see the sigma of the first aorist plus the alpha of the first aorist, but between that alpha and the personal ending, mu iota, you have the iota of the suffix of the optative. Likewise, in the perfect, after the perfect active, after the kappa of the reduplicated verb stem, la luke, you have the thematic vowel again, omicron, and the iota of the optative suffix before the ending, me. So, and then the future perfect, we move into what are called these periphrastic forms that are formed by a combination of the perfect participle with the optative of the verb aime, to be, which we'll see down the road. And then with the aorist passive, again, we see the iota after the epsilon, lutein, there as well. So this optative, the optatives are not hard to spot at all if you're familiar with your other forms, because you see this intrusion of the iota, and it kind of sticks out quite well, and it's not difficult to spot. So, what does the optative do? The optative mood adds the notion of contingency to a verbal idea. Thus, it does the work of English auxiliaries such as might, may, should, would, could, as they are used to express either a wish, a command or exhortation, or the notion of potential. So we've actually seen, or we'll soon see all of these. We saw the wish in the priest's placation of the Achaeans. May the gods allow you to return home. May the gods give it to you. May they give it doyen. You see that iota of the second aorist of the of didomi. May they give. And then for command or exhortation, we saw him saying, might you please release lusaite. You see the iota there after the alpha. Might you please release my daughter? And then when he was praying to Apollo, he says, make the Achaeans, make them requite my tears with your arrows. Te seian, and epsilon iota before the alpha of the ending. We'll see that that is our first aorist of the optative. Then finally, we are going to see very soon in the speech of Achilles, the first speech of Achilles, a potential use of the optative with on e kentanaton ge pugoimen, if we would at least flee death, if we would or could, if we would flee death, well, we have to get the heck out of here, he's going to be saying. So, wish, command or exhortation, and potential are our main independent uses of the optative. So let's look at the forms themselves more closely. With the present, you are going to have, actually in all the verbs, tenses that form using the thematic vowel, you're going to have these same endings, and that is ruled by the Omicron thematic vowel, where then you're going to see the insertion of the iota, which is the suffix of the optative, and then you will see the personal ending of the verb itself. So if we were to take the present stem lu, our optative of the present would be lu oime, lu ois, lu oi, lu oimen, lu oite, lu oien. And then in the middle, lu oimen, lu oio, lu oito, lu oimeta, lu oiste, lu ointo. Now note in the middle, the second singular, where you always have that disappearing sigma between the vowels, because the ending is sigma omicron, but that sigma disappears, and that gives you this rather strange ending of omicron iota omicron in the second singular of the middle. But just as we have the present formed by the thematic vowel added to the tense stem, so too in the future. So we will have the exact same endings, but added to loose, lambda, upsilon, sigma, lusoime, lusois, lusoi, lusoimen, lusoite, lusoien, and so on. Lusoimen, lusoio, lusoito, lusoimeta, lusoiste, lusointo. Likewise, with the second aorist, you take any second aorist you want. Let's use leap from lepo, and likewise, because you have the thematic vowel, you're going to have the same endings: lipoime, lipois, lipoi, lipoimen, lipoite, lipoien. You get the idea. Now, it's only in the first aorist that you actually get a curveball thrown you, and you get a somewhat different set of endings. And here is your main complication, because you have the sigma and the alpha that we've seen. It marks the first aorist, and then we have the insertion of the iota. And then we have the regular endings, me, sigma, blank, men, te, and then epsilon nu for the third plural. But you also have the secondary forms, luceas, lucea, luceon, and I shouldn't call these secondary because they are actually more common as your forms of the optative than the simple alpha iota forms. But you do have to do some work here to appraise yourself of these. But again, they're pretty easy to spot when you come across them. As far as the middle is concerned, you don't have the variation. You just have the sigma alpha of the first aorist, and then the iota of the optative, and then your endings, main, o, to, metha, sta, into. So, lu, si, main, lu, si, o, lu, si, to, lu, si, meta, lu, si, ste, lu, si, to. So these are not very hard to recognize at all if you have familiarized yourself with the notion of your tense stem and your personal endings and all the jazz that goes on between those to give you your varied, well, in this case, the optative mood. Okay, now the perfect, as I said, is formed periphrastically. It's formed by using the perfect participle in either its singular or plural form, along with the optative forms of eme, the verb I am or to be. And so we'll learn that down the road, but la lumenos ein, la lumenos es, la lumenos e, etc. Very easy to spot. And then the future perfect. Again, if you are have a sense of that reduplicated perfect stem or perfect stem with the sigma thrown in as your mark of the future, plus the omicron that you expect as your thematic vowel, and then the iota, these forms are perfectly recognizable. Le, lu, soy, main, le, lu, soy, o, le, lu, soy, to, le, lu, soy, meta, le, lu, soy, ste, le, lu, soy, to. So again, that iota stands out pretty clearly as marking your optative forms, and it's easy to spot. So again, just to review, these optative and independent clauses can be used to express a wish, may the gods allow you to return home, or a command, a polite request, might you please release my daughter, please make the Danaans requite my tears with your arrows, or the simple idea of potential. If we are to flee, if we would at least flee death. E kentanaton ge pugoimen. So that's your quick and straightforward introduction to the independent uses of the optative, as well as the forms of the various optative tenses. We will follow this up with a more extensive video about the further uses of the optative, especially in dependent clauses, which is a little more complex. Okay, see you soon. Have a great afternoon and be well.